like to thank you for being here tonight and welcome you to our first meeting of the County Commission in July of this year. And Commissioner Maxey is going to lead us in the pledge and prayer.
Shall we pray? Our kind of most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank thee for this day. We thank thee for this fellowship that we have with our fellow commissioners. We ask you to be with our county, keep our county citizens safe. We especially ask you to be with our employees, our public works, and our public safety during this warm, hot spell. Lord, we do thank for the rain that we just had. Lord, we ask you to be with us, guide us, and make sure that the decisions we make is to keep your will for Floyd County. We ask these things in thy name, and I say, amen. Would you join me in the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do I have a motion to approve our agenda tonight?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wallace, second by Commissioner Waters to approve our agenda. Please call the roll.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we need to make sure that that's approved with the deferring item number 6 under new business.
Thank you. Is that suitable with y'all's motion?
Yes, that is correct.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have one person who has signed up to participate in our public participation tonight, and we'd ask Darlene if you want to come on up and give us your name and address, and you got up to 3 minutes to talk about what you need to talk about.
My name's Darlene Kelly, and I live off Highway 100 between Cave Spring and Coosa. I travel Blacks Bluff Road daily. I would like to get a status on when that road is going to be repaired. That's all I want to know. When you guys going to fix it?
We've got we have a contract let on that. We were hoping that they were going to start this week, and I don't believe that happened. But
Well, I picked the perfect time to come.
Jamie, you want to comment?
Yes, and let me give you a minute on the delay. It's a 13-foot diameter steel pipe. There was a lot of debate back and forth on repair or remove and replace. We spent a lot of time with consultants making that decision. The initial estimate was $1.3 million. That was also of concern because there is a significant amount of fill, over 30 feet of fill dirt on top of the culvert. In the end, we decided to replace it, and the contract was awarded 2 meetings ago to a local contractor, Cornerstone. Got the bid, and they were supposed to mobilize this week. If you'll leave me a number or an email,
That's okay.
I can send you a status report, but it's about probably a 4-month project max. It could be quicker if weather goes well.
Okay.
But much needed, I understand it. We wouldn't have taken this long had we not had the detour of the Old Bluff Road. We took longer than anticipated because we didn't have this budgeted. So that was the reason for the delay.
Believe me, I followed enough transfer trucks down that road to get to the bypass.
Yep.
So I know where the damage came from, and I'm hoping somebody will be smart enough to stop those guys from going down that
Yep.
road.
Some enforcement.
So that's all I needed. I
Good.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. We hope it goes well. We're glad it's a local contractor that got the bid because the first few bids we had were more than you and I and everybody else in this room was worth. So,
Well, I'll go by and thank them.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from the June 28th meeting? Hearing and seeing none, those stand approved as submitted. We have no special recognition tonight. We do have one proclamation that they're not going to be here tonight, but Aaron, would you like to say anything about the Parks and Recreation?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I love being put on the spot with that, so I really appreciate it. No, this is, I believe, National Parks and Recreation Month, and we just wanted to take the time to recognize our Parks and Recreation staff. They do a lot throughout the community to bring a better sense of quality life and sporting activities, recreation to both youth and adults. So I can't say enough good things about what they've done, so just appreciate the recognition for them.
Thank you very much. We'll get that to Todd and their board. We have two first readings tonight. I'm going to ask Bryce if he would come forward. Or Brittany, if you want to do those and read those, and we will put those on first reading tonight.
Yes, sir. File SUP 220701 requested a special use permit to operate a custom service restaurant zoned NOC for the property located at 3424 Maple Road, Lindale, Georgia, Floyd County tax parcel J16X352. Staff recommended approval as submitted, and the commission agreed with a 6-0 vote. File Z220702 requested a rezoning from agricultural residential to light industrial for the property located at 3686 Turkey Mountain Road, Rome, Georgia, Floyd County tax parcel M10W047. Staff recommended approval on the condition that the applicant obtain development plan approval from building, engineering, etc. The commission approved with conditions, a 6-0 vote.
Thank you very much. Those will be put on first reading tonight, and we will have the public hearing and the second reading at our next meeting, which I believe is on the 26th. We have no second readings tonight. We do have a public hearing to open up, and this public hearing is a first of 3 that we will have on our millage rate considerations for the next year. The first, we'll have to have 2 on these public hearings on the items tonight because they have to be done separately. The first one will be on the millage rate for county M&O, fire, and solid waste. We will open that public hearing, and those wishing to speak in favor will have up to 10 minutes cumulative to speak on that. So if there are more than, if there are a few people that would like to speak, you need to allow some time for the other people, but you'll have up to 10 minutes, and then those in opposition will have an opportunity to speak. So we will open that public hearing, and I'd ask for you to come forward and give us your name and address and make the comments you'd like to.
First of all, I appreciate what you all do. I want to talk about millage and how the combined effect of millage and the increase in assessment value is affecting me. My assessed value went up approximately 20, and I know that the issue on the calendar is millage, but there's a cumulative effect. My assessed value went up approximately 25% due to the inflation in the housing market. And we all know that these prices are a bubble. So on top of this inflation, the commission wants to increase my millage rate. If my memory is correct, and I didn't pull out my last year's records, but I think I've got it pretty good, my property tax total went up $600 from 2021. So the net effect of inflation is far more than the newspaper article that was published that says this millage increase is going to be an increase of $53 on a $200,000 home, which is what the commission listed in the newspaper on this announcement. So my increase, if this millage increase goes through, and my property tax value assessment is what I got in my notice, that's an increase of $653 in a year. I request a rollback of the millage rate to offset the inflation. I read the state's taxpayers' Bill of Rights. I understand you guys are going through those particular steps, announcing public hearings. $653 increase in a year is a lot. It's just a lot. I don't know that I can afford any more. So I'm asking for a rollback and a millage rate to offset inflation. I also have a question and a comment about the streetlight assessment. Should I hold that? Or ask now?
We haven't opened the streetlight public
It's a
hearing
second.
yet.
Yeah, it'll be the second, it'll be
Yes,
the
sir.
second public
Sit up
hearing.
front so you can come right back up.
Do any of you have any questions of me?
No, we totally understand where
We
you're coming
understand
from.
completely what you're saying.
Why are we doing this increase?
We have not said we're doing an increase.
Right.
We have not said that at all.
Well, I read in the newspaper, got a ring here going on.
What the ad says is what the state requires us to say. What we do is we take the people like you from the public hearings we have, and then we will discuss and decide what we're going to do with the millage rate at the end, after the third public hearing.
And I believe the ad said that the rate would either stay the same or roll back.
Just a second. Let me
Okay.
find it, please. I may be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. See if I can find this quickly. All right, I've got the advertisement. The Floyd County Board of Commissioners has tentatively adopted a 2022 millage rate, which will require an increase in property taxes by 5.82%. All concerned citizens are invited to the public hearing. Goes on and on. Says this tentative increase will result in a millage rate of 9.678 mills, an increase of 5.32 mills.
That's because the state law requires us to state it that way. We have not taken any action on it, and we will not until after the three public hearings, and then we will discuss and decide what we're going to do on it, if we're going to roll back into what percentage.
I'm not the smartest guy in this room, but why is it worded this way? An increase of 5.32 mills. I mean, the
Well,
word
as-
increase,
Let me see if I can tackle this one. If your assessment had stayed the same and we leave the millage rate the same, your taxes don't go up.
yes,
If your assessment went down and we leave the millage rate the same, your taxes don't go up. It's an individual situation. Yours is different, mine is different, hers is different. It all depends on your homestead, it depends on your freeze. Do you live in the city or the county? And just, I don't know, it may be $600 just on your county, but I'm assuming in Northwoods you receive a county schools as well.
that,
So
I did combine those, I did. But
still,
it,
you still
it
got to
comes
pay
out
it.
it comes out of my wallet,
But we don't have any control over county schools.
but the point is the same.
It is.
The dollar figures may be different, but the increase, and see, I don't understand what you're saying.
Well,
This says an increase, it's a tax, the proposed tax increase for a home with a fair market value of $200,000 is approximately $53. More is implied in that
More,
sentence.
that's correct.
So how's that not an increase?
Well, it is an increase. The digest is positive. There have been years the digest is negative, but that's where the 5% increase is coming from. We have an approximately 8.7% increase in the total tax digest. That's real property, personal property, and that's what's pushing. If you leave it the same, the taxes we collect are higher than what we collected the previous year. Everybody's individual situation is different.
So far, I'm tracking with you.
So that's why it's, and the state requires us, if you don't do the full rollback and go 100% to zero net increase, you have to advertise it the way you read it. What that advertising gives us the opportunity to do is have these three public hearings, have these debates, have these discussions, and then decide. We can go to the full rollback and there is no tax increase.
Is that your intention? Well, you're the the manager.
Well, we're gonna
What
have
is your intention
We're
on
going to have
millage
3
rates?
meetings. We're going to have 3 public hearings, and we appreciate your feedback, and we appreciate the feedback of other citizens. So we're listening right now, and then after those 3 public hearings, we'll be making our decision.
With the increase of, the suspected increase of the tax digest because of the higher assessments due to this inflated property tax situation, the county should have significant money.
We hear what you're saying. We can't give you an answer now. We're going to have the 3 public hearings like we're required to. We're going to listen to everybody, and then we're going to take the information we get. We're in the same situation you are. We have tax bills just like you do.
Yes, sir, I understand that. And I
And
do
so-
appreciate y'all's work. It's just, I still haven't gotten over what y'all are saying about, because this says, has adopted a millage, 2022 millage rate, which will require an increase in property taxes by 5.82%. Sounds like an increase to me. That's,
Well,
That's the way state
that's
law
the state law
requires us to do it.
requires us
I
to do
can't
it.
understand 2 people.
We argue with our state legislators every year about changing the wording in that law. That's how we have to put it. The law requires us to state it that way. We totally understand where you're coming from.
We feel the same way
We
you
feel
do.
your frustrations, believe me.
But no decision has been made.
Right.
Lawyers are good with words. It says increase.
There's an
Okay.
actual state requirement that it be advertised this way.
I saw that.
And then the commission will make its decision, like they said, after the public hearings, actually after the 3rd public hearing, which will be, I guess, at the next regularly scheduled meeting. But that it would take a change to the state law to change the wording of that advertisement.
Okay.
And that is just unfortunate.
I'm requesting a rollback in the millage rate to
We
give us some
understand.
relief.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in the public hearing on the millage rate? Seeing none, we will close that public hearing, and we will open the public hearing for our fiscal year 22 streetlight assessment. Same rules will apply to that as apply to this. You'll have up to 10 minutes cumulative, and if there's anyone who'd like to speak on that, please come forward.
Does anyone else want to speak on the streetlight? On this one, I'm less prepared on this one than I am on the other, so I do appreciate your time. There were more efficient streetlight bulbs replaced throughout the county. First of all, how much is the increase the assessment?
I'm looking for that, honestly. I think it's 63 cents. I need to find I don't have it in front of me.
63 cents per-
We were at 50 per linear footage of your property. Now, if you do not have street lighting in your neighborhood, you do not pay.
I do have streetlights, so
Okay,
it's my,
so
it's my
you'll
footage.
pay based on the
My,
deed frontage on your
frontage.
street. And if you're a corner lot, there's a ordinance that
Okay.
protects that a little bit too. This is a pass-through directly from Georgia Power. Georgia Power
Pass-through.
bills us, we bill the resident.
So the increased efficient streetlights didn't help?
They did,
We don't know.
but you had to pay for the equipment. Basically, our bill stayed the same and we got the more efficient equipment to pay for the equipment.
All right.
I know that doesn't sound like a benefit when you're paying basically the same rate or slightly more. Now, energy costs have clearly gone up, but the savings has really come in the replacement of the bulbs. These have like a 10-year warranty. They don't go out as frequently,
Maintenance of it.
and the maintenance is almost zero. So we have about 4,000 countywide.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is anyone else who'd like to speak on the streetlight assessment?
My name is Norma on 104 Westmore Road, Southwest. Concerning about the street lights,
Can you speak right into the microphone? Thank you.
concerning about the street lights, is that under transportation tax?
No, it's on your tax bill, and you get it one time annually, paid in November. And again, it's based on if you have them or not. And then if you do, you pay that rate times your deed footage, not linear footage, but deed footage on your plat one time per year. And it's basically a pass-through for the power bill.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, if there are no other people that'd like to speak, we'll close the public hearing. We'll have two more public hearings. One is at 8 o'clock on the morning of the 26th. The third one will be at our regular meeting on the night of the 26th, and then we will take action at that time. We have no resolutions tonight. There's no report from the chairman's desk. Does any commissioner want to make a comment on any of your committee work? All right, seeing and hearing none, we will move on to the manager's report. Anything from you, Mr. McCord?
No, sir, no report.
Thank you. Ms. Harmon, anything from you?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We have one item on the consent agenda. Ms. Elrod, is the consent agenda in order?
Yes, Mr. Chair, it is.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Wallace to approve the consent agenda. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. There is no old business tonight. We have a few items, I believe 5 under new business. Mr. McCord, you want to lead us through that?
Yes, sir. Item 1, consider request from purchasing to approve the purchase of a 2023 Ford passenger transit van from Prater Ford in the amount of $43,355 for Floyd County Public Animal Welfare Services. This was budgeted at $35,000. However, no other funds will be needed as Paul's will not be purchasing a replacement truck number 53 budget at $62,000. This was the sole bidder for Prater Ford at $45,355.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 1?
Make a
Do we have
motion
a
to
motion?
approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Wallace to approve item 1. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2, consider approval request from purchasing to proceed with additional work for the Parker Center renovation by Multicraft Construction in the amount of $32,550. This project was budgeted at $75,000 in the 2017 SPLOST and will need a budget revision for the additional $29,440.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on item 2?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wallace, second by Commissioner Maxey to approve item 2. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3, consider request from purchasing to approve additional work for the Etowah Driving Range building renovation by Multicraft Construction Services in the amount of $12,500. That will include painting of the existing building and replacement of the existing decking, bringing it up to code.
Thank you. Is there a motion on item 3?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Wallace to approve item 3. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4, consider request from Water Department to approve a professional services contract with Peoples and Quigley Consulting Engineers for review of well driller's cost proposal for the B Road well and provide general recommendations. It's not to exceed $5,000.
Thank you. Is there a motion on item 4?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 4. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And item 5, consider request from purchasing to install a synthetic putting green at the Etowah Driving Range at 50% of the total installation cost, $10,125. The remaining 50% will be shared by managing partner Golf for Less. Total cost installation is $20,250. This was the lowest of the 4 quotes received.
Thank you. This is one of the few items that we ever come across where we have a 50% participation by a private entity, and it's a great great opportunity. So do we have a motion on this item?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wallace, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 5. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We did go into executive session during our caucus to discuss property and legal matters, and no action was taken. Is there any other the business come for our group? If not, we stand adjourned.